A very good afternoon to you, Garden Route and beyond. My name is Bulela Felicia Sosa for Garden Route TV. This afternoon, we're broadcasting from Premier Hotel, which is hosting the regional investment conference, and first of its kind in the region. What you can expect in this region are the lead partners, which are the Knysna Business Chambers, the Knysna Local Municipality, the Garden Route District Municipality, as well as the United 2 Initiative, which is hosting. What you can expect are a number of various conversations with stakeholders, dignitaries, as well as people from the private sector. We're going to be focusing on a number of key areas today. The first one being, how do we then focus on sustainable economic growth for SMEs in this region? And I think a question most important for us, all of us here today, is how is this conference going to benefit the lives of ordinary Knysna and the broader Garden Route residents today? The first person I have today for an interview, or rather a conversation, is a person from Take a Lot, and they're going to be taking us through how does a person become a part of Take a Lot. They're going to expand on how does the personal shopper aspect of Take a Lot work, gas manufacturers, as well as what they hope to gain from the conference today. And I'm going to be having someone in a minute. What I wanted to know from you this afternoon is, so far I know the conference is still ongoing, but what's your take so far on the conference?
So far, it's been phenomenal actually. Despite this maybe being one of the places of South Africa that's known for calm and relaxation, there's a great energy here. There's a great excitement and optimism around the opportunities. So yeah, it's been fantastic so far, and looking forward to the rest of the day.
Great. And as a sponsor, I know you're sponsoring this conference as well. What do you hope to gain from it?
The purpose that we are here today is to raise awareness. We want to raise awareness around the transformative opportunities around e-commerce, the opportunities that it unlocks for individuals and businesses, the opportunities to change lives for the better, and the opportunities that are wide-reaching and far for across South Africa. So that's the first purpose that we are here today. Is to raise awareness and to grow the love and the understanding and the excitement around e-commerce that we have within our business. The second reason that we're here today is to raise awareness again, but it's to share the opportunities that we have created to access into that e-commerce platform. Within our business, we've created numerous opportunities with which individuals in all over South Africa can be exposed to e-commerce, can join onto the platform and the ecosystem, and be part of their own destiny, I guess, in terms of raising and growing opportunities. So, yeah, that's our hope.
So I love that you have touched that. You're also involved in making sure that others become a part of the e-commerce. So would you be kind enough to expand for us? How does one become a seller, maybe on Take a Lot? How does one become a part of a gas manufacturers? How does one become a personal shopper?
One of the unique things around the takealot.com business is that we are in fact a platform, and so we have customers who we serve to delight and to provide access. There, our opportunities are to provide fast delivery, convenience, and a wider range of products that maybe they do not have access to, especially in areas like in far rural areas or areas that are underserved. We do then provide opportunities for people in that space, just merely to get access and to be able to have the opportunities that maybe people in larger cities have. Within that space for opportunities for people to get involved, we have our personal shopper program. Here, individuals are able to serve as ambassadors for the Take a Lot brand. They serve to educate and inform individuals who are maybe resistant or hesitant or just do not have the exposure to e-commerce. So they serve to educate and inform around the opportunities. And then further to that, they serve to actually facilitate the purchasing and the deliveries for those individuals. So it is an entry point into e-commerce for those that maybe don't understand or don't believe that it is an opportunity for them. And those individuals, for the service that they provide to the customers as well as to our business, can earn commissions and can actually make a living out of it for themselves and for their families. So those are one element of our opportunities. In the delivery space, we are supporting drivers one of the key things, and it is the last mile of delivery, and it's the most customer-facing part of e-commerce. It's the driver that comes to your door. It's the widest reaching and the most, let's say, human-intensive part of the business, and that's where the most amount of resources, extremely skilled resources. It's a tough job. And that's where we're supporting. We have a driver skills and training program, and we're looking to onboard drivers, and not just any particular type of space, but it is in far-reaching and rural areas with the particular aim to uplift and upskill in that area, but also to provide access into those areas. And the last and most exciting space, which is in the marketplace space, which is where I work, is in the manufacturing space, is that every customer needs something to be supplied for. And what we're seeing at the moment is there's a decline in the rate of manufacturing and an increase in the rate of imports. And we understand that that's not a healthy direction for an economy to go, and we want to be part of the solution. Which is to drive and stimulate more manufacturing locally in South Africa. So what we have is we've provided a channel for which people to create, to innovate, to ideate, and to create products for consumers, to manufacture those products locally. And in the last part is we open up our platform so that they can find consumers, they can find a route to market, they can make sales, they can go grow brands, and they can grow businesses. Yeah, those are some of the initiatives that we are currently and actively working on. Some of the many few, and we have many all across our value chain.
So is there any particular category or process that one has to follow to become a part?
So the various initiatives have various channels with which they are interested in, if you're interested in the different channels, they have various routes with which you go through to participate. The simplest way is to just contact our contact center, and we have on our website there is direction with which to find your way through to the Takealot Township Economy Initiative. And all the information is there, application forms, where to find more information, and the like.
Thank you so much for a very informative session. A very good afternoon to you, Garden Route and beyond. My name is Bulela Felicia Sosa, and this afternoon we're broadcasting from the Regional Investment Conference, a first of its kind in the region. The lead partners of the conference are the NISA Business Chambers, the Garden Route District Municipality, the local NISA municipality, as well as the Yona Yetu initiative. So these partners today come together under a theme: investment through skills and capacity building in the border region. What you can expect this afternoon for panel discussions or to be addressed are key areas of focus, namely, how can we promote sustainable growth for SMEs in this region? Secondly, how is this conference going to benefit the lives of ordinary Knysna as well as the broader Garden Route residents? Please welcome the Mayor of Knysna, Mr. Aubrey Tengwa, in conversation with him. Mayor, I'd like to ask, what makes Knysna an opportunity for investment that is great?
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much once again for the opportunity. Look, number one, Knysna is a forest town, it's a tourist town, first and foremost.
Yes.
From that aspect of being a tourist town, we strongly believe that. I mean, as we are welcoming a lot of tourists each and every year, I mean, plus minus 30,000, 30 to 40,000 tourists which we are welcoming on a yearly basis. So amongst those tourists, I mean, some of those people which are visiting us are investors. They are looking for opportunities, you know. So that's one fundamental reason which we think that we as Knysna, we are better placed. I mean to receive investors to our town.
So what more can then be done by the region to make Knysna more attractive to investors? What can be done?
You know, first and foremost, I think I must once again, before I attend to your question, thank the organizers.
Yes,
you know, thank the organizers, including our team in the municipality, you know, which have played a fundamental role in terms of making sure that we are having this successful conference. You know, as the minister indicated, the deputy president have suggested that he wish this conference can be an annual conference. You know, coming to your question, basically basically we need to move out. We need to go out more. I mean, whoever which is selling our beautiful Garden Road, I mean, moving to the province as the Western Cape, Westco, you know, I mean, they need to go. I mean, in terms of selling, I mean, Western Cape and Knysna, I mean, to abroad, so that we can have more investors.
Yes.
You know, when we've got more investment in town, I mean, you're looking on the issue of the unemployment. You know, as we currently sitting, we are having a challenge of a high rate of unemployment. I mean, at this point in time, the only institution which provides work opportunities, I mean, people are looking at municipality. And Knysna used to have factories like TZ,
Yes.
parks, and so on and so forth. Once we get more business people which might want to come and open factories, we are going to be dealing with issue of high rate of unemployment, number one. Number two, the issue of drugs, because I mean, our young people are engaged, I mean, in drugs related matters, simply because, I mean, there are no opportunities. I mean, work opportunities, as well as this, I mean, as well as those who want to, I mean, begin their small businesses, you know.
Yes.
So I strongly believe that, I mean, if we can move out in terms of selling Knysna, I mean, in the outside world, so that we can get more. And I'm convinced with this initiative, I mean, this first conference, I mean, we are going to send a very clear message, I mean, to the world. I mean, that Knysna is ready to welcome investors. I mean, so that we can grow our economy and create job opportunities.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, drawing from that, then, in what ways do you think the conference held here today is going to meaningfully impact the lives of an ordinary person, Opila Abanaisa, and the broader Garden Road region?
Yeah. I mean, coming to your question, you know, this conference will have a positive impact.
Yes.
As I've said, this is a beginning. This is a beginning, and I'm quite happy. Remember, we had international visitors, you know, and they're looking at, I mean, reading out, I mean, out of the outcome of the conference. I mean, all the participants, I mean, our investors, visitors, which have participated there, people are quite happy.
Yes.
I mean, that will really, I mean, send a message, I mean, so that people can come. You know, once people comes in, that will bear, I mean, a very good spin-offs, I mean, for young people, those who want job opportunities. And as an executive mayor, I do not encourage, I mean, young people to be job seekers. Those who want to start their own businesses, I will really welcome them and support them so that they can be, I mean, job creators, not job seekers. You know, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your time. I have only one last question. So, what was your primary objective in joining this conference as a municipality?
My primary objective, as I've indicated, I'm a very dedicated person to my job. Number one, I understand my community. When I'm speaking about my community, I'm speaking about the 11 wards in the Greater Knysna. I understand each and every, I mean, ward, the dynamics, the challenges, the material condition of those areas. So I understand what the challenge is. As I've indicated earlier on, part of our challenge, I mean, is job opportunities, is the creation of jobs, and furthermore, you know, we are the only a town which do not have a TVET college or an institution of higher learning, like a technical university. Part of what we really want to lobby, you know, I mean, is the Department of Higher Education, I mean, to inject more funding so that we can be able to establish our own TVET college, so that we can be able to keep, I mean, our youth from going to Pito, going to George, going to Cape Town, going to PE. I mean, those who want to study further, you know. So I strongly believe this is going to really assist us, you know, in terms of realizing, I mean, that particular vision.
Mayor, please, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Right now, I have the man of the moment, the organizer, the person behind this whole idea. All the people gathered here are here together because of this man. I'm not talking about anyone else, but Nkosinathi Mapukane. Utwam, you are the man of the moment. you are the person behind this whole idea. Everyone gathered here is gathered here because you made it possible. It can up and before it comes to fruition. God shop. Can you please take me back to the background of how did you think about this? What prompted you to think of this great concept?
Okay. Being a young man or that lives with disadvantaged communities, we are always confronted with the issues of crime, rape, unemployment, poverty, and stuff like that. So I believe 2015, I have developed the concept, it's a Tuba multi-resource training and business hub. The main purpose, the concept was to offer abantu abasha skills and capacitate them in terms of business growth. But during the years when I was trying to lobby funding for that, it was very difficult. And then I developed a program called a Regional Investment Conference. The purpose of this initiative was basically to lobby stakeholders, investors, domestic and international investors, so that they can be able to sit and listen, and for us to be able to do a presentation selling this concept, which is much needed in northern areas. So it was not easy. I think I've worked for 2 years, 3 years, trying to put together the initiative, and it was very difficult. Then I decided that I must have a campaign called Hitchhike to the Head of State. The purpose of that Hitchhike to the Head of State campaign, I wanted to get the attention from the big people who government, locally and nationally. So basically, the target there, the main target was President Ramaphosa. And then I started the Hitchhike to the Head of States without a cent. I hiked from here. I went to George. I met with former mayor of George, Memory Poison. And then from there, I hitchhiked again, all the way to Cape Town, trying to get the attention from the Premier, Ellen Winde. I slept on the garage called Engine Garage, very close to the provincial parliament, because I did not have money to sleep in a hotel. So it was very difficult, but I was outside, and I told myself, I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna wait for him, and as soon as I get a chance, I'm gonna tell him, Ellen Winde, Dingosnati from Naisla. I've been sleeping here for a day or almost 2. Then, fortunately enough, I had an opportunity to meet with him. I sold my story. I told him about this regional investment conference, and then he promised that, no, look, Nati, this is a great initiative that is worthy to be supported. Then I told him, from here, my other target is the head of the country, president. I hitchhiked, it was difficult. I went to Pretoria. When I went to Pretoria, it was really difficult to get hold of the president. And then I said, okay, at least I did make a mark. Kule process, I managed to network with a couple of people. Then I came back to Naisla, started working on this event, which was 2022. And then 2023, I was supposed to do the official first main event. But due to funding and funding resources, we decided to have just an ordinary workshop whereby we will be looking into the projects that we can do or promote or market Kule investment conference in Namhlanje. So I worked, it was very difficult. I'm staying up there on the hill. You know the road there, my shoes are getting broken, but today I managed to get the Deputy President of South Africa up and a couple of ministers, as you can see.
Sure. I think it's quite commendable, the lengths you have gone to ukwenza this possible. And I think from what I've heard, you mentioned in Doba, this conference is very much needed, not for Mandabalapa, but for people in the northern areas of our region. So in what ways do you think this conference is going to benefit the ordinary person of selection right now?
The initial plan, CC, was to have this main event in the township because my main objective is to build a township economy open a market for the SMMEs in the township. Not actually bringing it to town, but due to safety and precautions when it comes on hosting such delegates, it was then decided to have it here. But the plan was to have it northern areas, 3 days event, day one dedicated for SMME support, bringing all the funding houses, your Standard Bank, your ABSA, your SIDA, your SIFA. Apokona, they will do a presentation as into zippi offers abanazo that can help these SMMEs. Day 3 focusing mainly on investment, where we will be promoting Naisna as an investment destination and also try to get the funds so that we can be able to build this multi-resource training and business hub. The last day was going to be an exhibition sort of event with the career guidance and SME market day.
So what more do you think can be done, either internally okanye ngabantu bangaphandle, to make NASNA more attractive for investment?
I don't want to take it kubantu bangaphandle. I want to give the task to local government because it's their responsibility to make sure that we have proper roads, we have a proper sanitation systems, we've got clean lagoons. So it's their responsibility. So they need to take their portion and deliver in their duties, and then it will be easy for investors to come to Naisna and grow the economy of Naisna.
Nkosi kakhulu for your time and nkosi kakhulu for allowing yourself to use it yourself and talking about changing the
Nkosi kakhulu sis. Bulelani.
Good afternoon to you, Garden Route and beyond. My name is Bulelwa Felicia Hlosa for Garden Route TV, and today we are broadcasting from the Naisna Premier Hotel, which is the host for a first of its kind in the region, the Regional Investment Conference. Well, the key partners of the conference are the Greater Naisna Business Chambers, the Garden Route District Municipality, the Naisna Local Municipality, as well as the Yona Yetu initiative. These partners come together this afternoon under the theme, Investment Through Skills and Capacity Building. What you can expect today is a key number of questions, or rather focus areas that are going to be addressed. The first one being, how do you promote sustainable growth for SMMEs in the region? How do we promote skills and development training? And maybe a question that is at the top of our heads is, how is this conference going to benefit the ordinary lives and socio-economic positions that our youth and larger community find themselves in today? All right, now we have moved into the second part of the day, whereby I mentioned earlier that this is a beautiful collaboration of government as well as private entities. So SMTech is one of the companies that was hosting a pitching competition for SMMEs. And this evening, we saw the beautiful pictures of the various SMMEs while they put their hearts on that stage and pitching their business ideas onto the table, hoping that they find an investor. Well, I have one of those that's going to come here and tell me about the experiences just about now. And that is the first prize winner, Uzandile Gondoli Omoshe. So Uzandile is the first prize winner of the pitching competition held by SMTech. First of all, how do you feel?
I'm in disbelief. First of all, I'm overwhelmed. I'm happy.
Yeah. I remember we met just before they did the pitching competition. And I remember you were feeling doubtful. You were nervous. You were not sure whether this is for you or not. I remember you mentioned someone else was supposed to be here and who's not here. And when you got into that stage, I saw you pitching your heart out. Can you tell us a bit about this business idea that has landed you here today?
Thank you. You know, this idea actually came, it's my son's business idea. He told me about this idea. Mama, why don't you sell water? I said, water? Everybody is selling water. He said, no, water for kids. Okay. I said, no, come, let us brainstorm and talk about this idea. So that's how this idea came about.
Yes. So
it is my son's idea.
So I'm hoping he's going to be getting a share
Definitely.
in the business. So how did you then got into developing this idea? Because Many of us start with an idea, and then it stays just as that, an idea. From having your son leaving that idea in your head, and then into you implementing it, and into you going to the pitching competition, into you winning today. How did that happen?
Okay, actually, the idea I think resonates with me because I'm a mother, first of all, and I know how we struggle to convince our kids to drink water
Yes.
because they prefer fruit juices. You know, it made me to research more about this. And in my research, I found out most kids they get dehydrated and they actually die because of dehydration. So I had to dig more and do some research more. And I took it as my baby. I took it with passion.
Yeah, I can tell.
Willingly,
Yeah.
and I made it my baby. I did a research. I've been applying with nothing, with no response. So I decided to take a chance on this one. I was not even feeling myself. I was in disbelief when they called me to say, Zandile, you must come and pitch your idea. So that's how I feel. I took it and I came with it, even though I was in disbelief. And I'm glad I took that opportunity.
You took a leap of faith. It paid off. Jonga Mama, congratulations once again. Na?
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah.
And Gus, thanks.
I now have Kayakazi. She won second place of the pitching competition. And Susan, can you tell us about this business idea that landed you share today?
Okay, my business is Clean Ops Waste. We started in 2021. When we started, the idea was to incentivize recycling and encourage people in the community to start recycling. So our aim was to get everyone excited about recycling. Recycling is not a clean job.
It's
so
not.
not
Literally.
everyone. Not everyone. It's not everyone's job. So. We decided to start the company and encourage people, especially in the popularly dense communities, to start recycling.
And evidently, it was a winning idea. So I want you to tell me, what advice can you give to other SMEs who are looking into funding, they're not sure where to turn to? What would you say to them?
I'd say they must start at CEDA. CEDA will give them business advice, and their consultation is free. It's a free service, and they will refer you to places that can give you funding like NYDA, and they will give you mentorship so that you can grow your business as well. So I'd say to them, start there, and yeah.
Listen to her. She is the winner today. Congratulations once again. Right, so now I have Uyanga Nganga of SM Tax, and I'm quite excited to speak to him because we just had the finalists announced of the pitching competition, and then afterwards we had the winners of the business ideas having been announced as winners from the first to the second to the third prize and consolation prize, as they call it. And honestly, diving into this conversation, I just said to him that I'm not sure I can speak because I'm quite excited about this one. Yanga, can you please, first of all, because we are still at the Regional Investment Conference, can you please just briefly tell me about the role that SM Tax has played in this conference?
Okay, I'll try to be objective. As many of the stakeholders that have supported and sponsored the Regional Investment Conference, SM Tax played a pivotal role in ensuring the success of this event, from the conference during the day to the gala dinner this evening, you know. So our journey with the conference began with us meeting a gentleman called Mr. Nati Mapukana, where he unpacked basically this concept and the brilliant idea that brought us together today. And because of that gentleman, you know, we've been able to bring everyone together and achieve so much. So before I continue, I'd like to just make a big shout out to him. You know, we need more people like Kunati who dare to dream, you know, and who go banging on doors, you know, to get the required support. And in terms of our participation, so SM Tax was a supporting stakeholder, a sponsor. We sponsored the Innovators Pitching Competition, the prizes of the Innovators Pitching Competition, to the tune of over 100,000. Initially it was 100,000, and then now it's just slightly over 100,000. So I'm still anxious about that because I know my CFO, Mrs. Sivanati Sipata, on Monday. Yeah. So, and we also just assisted in the organizing. So just walking the journey with Nati Mabukana, now the municipality, the business chamber, services CETA, you know. So many stakeholders were involved in the beginning, some dropped off, new came in, you know, because of our commitment at SM Tax, you know, at empowering young individuals, you know, to become the best that they can possibly be, whether it be through entrepreneurship or, you know, academia, or any sphere, you know, where you can, as an individual, thrive and shine and make the best out of your life. That is why we continued with the support, and yeah, this is why we are here today.
Yeah, so how do you think this conference that we're here for today is going to impact, you know, the ordinary lives of the SMEs that we have in our region? Like meaningfully so.
Meaningfully so, ne? So we always speak about sustainable, you know, growth and sustainable support in order to achieve that growth, right? So that was also one of the key messages today, even from the likes of the Honorable Deputy President, Mr. Paul. So, and along with collaboration, you know. So what this event managed to achieve is bringing together, you know, key decision makers from different spheres of the economy, different spheres of government, public, private, you know, for one common goal or for one common purpose, which is a better South Africa, you know. So now there is a renewed sense of purpose, even among everyone here, you know. So now the commitment has been made, or the commitments have been made. Now it is time for us to come together and go to work, and that is how I believe, you know, that the SMMEs of the Garden Route will benefit by us through that unity and us sharing those synergies. As you saw, we were working with Take a Lot as well, even in the Innovators Pitching Competition. There's so much collaboration and programs that are coming next year. So if you thought this year, right? So we have your ABSA, we have Standard Bank, different stakeholders in the economy. We have the CETA, we have colleges, TVET colleges, South Cape College, you know, that we've been engaging with, and all of that, you know, for sustainable projects and programs that are designed to benefit the pupils, the people, in fact, of the Garden Route region and the wider South Africa, right? So there's a lot to be on the lookout for, just based on this conference, for instance, you know. So yeah,
I can agree that it gives us a lot to look forward to as a region, honestly. You mentioned the Deputy President was here earlier for the first part of the day.
Yeah.
And I remember one thing you mentioned was that we should focus on SMMEs, and more so we should focus on access to funding for SMMEs, because it's a pain point for them, right? How does SM Tax then promote or facilitate access to funding for SMMEs, if in any way?
So, for instance, we unlocked to the tune of 30 million in funding, you know, for SMMEs, you know, for purchase orders that are awarded to them by government. So you can imagine how many homes are going to be able to put bread, you know, on the table. But for us, it also goes much deeper than just issuing funding, you know. We assist SMMEs on a wide range of elements, you know, mainly funding readiness and then funding support. So we first ensure that you are ready to get funding, because there's that misconception with SMMEs that, hey, I want funding, I have this business or I have this idea, but are you ready to receive funding? Is your business compliant? Do you have the necessary supporting documents, what we commonly refer to as a funding pack? Or if you can think of it like a student, for instance, like your professional CV, when you're going out and you're applying for like jobs, and then now it gets to the point that, okay, if you receive this funding, what's going to happen? What are the milestones and all of that? And how is it going to be evaluated and monitored, right? So basically, we walk that journey with you as SM Tax, and that has always been our commitment to help SMMEs grow and walk the journey with them. Wherever we join you, whether it's at the starting point or your early stages or your growth stage, for us, it's a matter of understanding the business and then walking, and your needs basically, and then walking the journey with you, to foster that financial and economic inclusion, and to make sure that we have or experience a better South Africa for all.
My next question was gonna be on the SM Tax propeller, but I feel like we've already.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I talk too much, by the way. So sorry. Sorry. Yeah.
If you can expand on it a bit, because I understand that SM Tax does not only assist with just the initial work of starting a business, but you grow with an SMME. So can you expand on that a bit?
Okay. So when you speak SM Tax propeller, it speaks to the essence of helping SMMEs grow, right? If you think of a propeller, it's a mechanism that helps you to go forward or make something go forward, right? So basically, what we do with SM Tax, apart from us assisting you maybe with the starting up, the setting up of the right infrastructure and systems, what we do, and just educate you on like how to run whatever business you are in or you have in mind, right? Taking into account the different legislations that your business is subject to, along with different regulations in place, regulations that are there to actually even support your business, So it's not a one shoe fits all, to be honest. So yeah, our first step whenever we interact or encounter an SMME is to sit down with the person, get to know the business, get to know the person behind the business, right? So as to see where we can actually fit in, And our area of specialization, so we are a corporate, we are a financial services firm. We specialize in tax, accounting, finance, advisory, bidding, a whole number of things, right? But that tax, finance, accounting, advisory is at the core of everything that we do at SM Tax. So, yeah.
Thank you
Hope
so
I've
much.
answered your
You
question.
have, definitely. Yeah. And thank you so much for your time.
All right.
Thank you for your contribution to SMMEs in this region.
Oh, yeah.
And thank
Yes.
you for your contribution to the conference at large.
Yes.
Ngosiyakhuleka ixesha lakho.
Yabulela Sisi, and thank you guys for having me. Thank you for just, giving us a platform to spread the word. And we want to help and we want to get involved. So to the people listening, our branch is at Teeson Island in Knysna, TH 15.1. So wherever you are in the Garden Route, it's a digital firm, by the way, so you can connect with us. However, you don't have to physically come to the branch, but thank you so much for everything. All right.
I now have Debbie. She was also part of the SM Tax pitching competition. And she won a prize as well. And I'm going to be talking to her this evening about, first of all, what does this conference mean to you owning an SMME?
We didn't think that we would come this far, and it means a lot to us.
So I'd like to know from you, as a person who owns an SMME, I know that the conference was held for that purpose. What does it mean for you as a person owning an SMME?
The competition actually meant a lot to us. We didn't think that we would make it into the top 7 into this competition.
Yeah.
So that itself was an honor being here. It was a privilege.
On that stage.
Exactly, and communicating and doing the networking with people and everything. So this was a great opportunity for us.
Yeah. So in what way, because I know you won a prize, so in what ways is the prize going to benefit your company?
Definitely for our upcoming event. So we've got the Wine Along the River. on the 15th of December, and it's going to go for that event because we do have a lot of things that we need to pay to get that event.
Yeah.
As you know, in events company, you need to have capital in order to do an event itself. So definitely that would help us in making a success of the event.
Yeah. So I'd like to say congratulations on winning. First of all, on starting the business, coming here, taking a leap of faith, and look at you, you're here now.
I'm here.
You know, you have something to contribute to having your
Yes.
event in December. Attend the event. Nah. All right, congratulations, mommy.
Thank you.
Can I have
snacks.
your mic?